And then from the slavery of Egypt 3,000 some odd years ago, over the entire span of recorded human history, our generation made it back to the mountains of Judea, to the mountains of King David, for the world to see, to marvel and witness the greatest story humanity has ever told. A story like no other. It's just hard to comprehend where we are and who we are and what we're living. It's all so unbelievable. And then there's an ancient tradition, a tradition that was hidden and given over in the oral Torah that I want to share with you tonight. It was passed through the Sfat Emet, through his sage and his master before him. And he teaches like this. I'll just say it in English, translated directly. The three regalim, the three biblical feasts, Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot, that are explicitly written in the Torah, are mirrored by three holidays of the oral Torah. And they are illuminations from the three holidays, like the moon receives light from the sun. So he says first there are three holidays in the written Torah. But then after that, there are going to be three other holidays that were established after the writing of Moses. He says Hanukkah is not a biblical holiday. It's after the Torah, is a light that's reflected from Sukkot. The 8 days of Sukkot reflect into the 8 days of Hanukkah. He says Shavuot, where the Jewish people received the Torah, is reflected in Purim. In Purim, it says, Kimu v'kiblu, they all repented, received the Torah, and did tshuva. And then the Sfat Emet says this, Passover, we are still waiting for that new holiday to emerge, for one more holiday. Like it says, like the days you left the slavery of Egypt, I will show you wonders. And now every Jew in the back of their mind that knows this tradition is thinking to themselves, we are celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut now, Israel's Independence Day. Like the wonders that God will show us after he took us out of slavery, are we actually establishing the third and final holiday before Mashiach comes? And then someone pointed out to me, not only that, we know that there are 50 days between Passover and Shavuot. And here's something marvelous. If you count the days from Purim, which is on the 14th and 15th day of Adar, and then you count all the way up until 1948, when Israel declared independence, which is on the 5th of Iyar, you will get 50 days. That wasn't done on purpose. That's just one of the marvels of Jewish history, that we see the same biblical pattern of 50 days between the biblical feasts, have 50 days separating between the oral law, the oral living Torah that's unfolding and revealing itself as we celebrate our holidays. 50 days, one was established in the times of the Bible and the times of Esther, and then 50 days after Purim, we're celebrating Israel's Independence Day that was established on a Friday in 1948, and it just so happens that those two holidays are also 50 days apart. You can't help but just kind of stand and marvel at the mystery of it all.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Gimpel. A lot of people want to know exactly what the Land of Israel Fellowship is and what members receive when they join, so let me explain. The Land of Israel Fellowship is a global online community with hundreds of members from over 40 countries around the world. There are live sessions and gatherings that create a direct personal connection to the Land of Israel and to lovers of Israel from around the world. There's no online gathering that I'm familiar with that is connected to the Land of Israel that unites and brings together such a diverse group of people, backgrounds, and nationalities. It feels like prophecy. It feels like something we need in these times, like a window in to a better future on the horizon. There's a divine unity we experience every week in our fellowship broadcast. We heard these amazing teachings from an authentic Hebrew and Israel perspective and our jaws drop. Not only because they ring so true and are such a blessing, because they are so consistent with what we believe. These Sunday morning gatherings are nothing less than a house of prayer for all nations. Cindy Lowe, the United States of America. The Land of Israel Fellowship is an amazing resource for learning Torah, the Bible, and the prophets, unfiltered and uncensored, directly from the land of Israel. We've been studying Torah for almost 20 years, but we feel we are stepping into it more than ever and seeing new depth and dimensions to Scripture. We're encouraged more and more every week. Callan Ardell, USA. Members receive access to all the archives in the library of teachings on every portion of the Torah, the biblical feast, Hebrew prayer, prophecy, sessions on the ancient wisdom of the prophets of Israel to help us navigate through these turbulent times. These sessions are so rich. I re-listened to each, and truly each session is the best one yet. Tehila is a tremendous asset, and the teachings Ari shares are so rich. I've read the Bible so many times, and I've known the things you are teaching. The Hebrew understanding is what Christians have missed for centuries. Sister Georgian from Germany. The Land of Israel Fellowship is truly unique because it's built upon personal relationships with the teachers of the fellowship. Myself, Rabbi Ari Abramowitz, and Tehila Gimpel. Every member has direct access to the staff 24/6 via email or direct WhatsApp to ask questions, to comment, to connect directly to all the teachers. And over the last years, we've connected to some of the most beautiful people on the planet. So if you want to find out more and join the Land of Israel Fellowship, you can click on the link below. And if you want to try it out for just a month, you can email fellowship@thelandofisrael.com and we'll hook you up. I hope to see you. Shalom from the mountains of Judea.